This evening we are so privileged to have our Honorable MP and Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and Electronics and Information Technology of India, Sir Rajeev Chandrasekhar, with us.
When I meet young Indians all over the country, and as I meet young Nagas when I come to Nagaland, I share with them this story of India and its journey from 2014. During elections, many parties come, they drop by, visit, make statements. But it is important for everybody to understand in 2014 what India was and in what precarious situation the Indian economy was. And today in 2023, 9 years later, how India is the fifth largest economy in the world, the fastest growing innovation and startup ecosystem in the world, the fastest growing economy in the world. And that has happened because over the last 9 years, over 2 elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and the BJP have worked hard to transform the entire landscape for the young Indian, and indeed in these elections for the young Nagas. I always use one example to demonstrate how far we have travelled as a country and place that as a goal for Nagaland as well. In 2014, and I don't know how many of you are aware here, over 80-85% of mobile phones used in India were imported. And in 2022-2023, 100% of the mobile phones that are consumed in India, including Apple, Samsung, all of these big brands, are manufactured in India. I say this because this highlights the potential and promise that we have and what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and the BJP is building for the future young Indian and the young Naga. What does the next 5 years mean if the last 5 years is continued? What does it mean? Many political parties will come, they will make promises, they will make tall claims, they will abuse, they will try and distract voters. But in essence, the next 5 years are years that will represent huge opportunity for the young youth of Nagaland, as it will represent for the rest of India as well. For example, the Prime Minister in the budget has announced 8,000 crores for skilling. And one of the most important things in the manifesto or that the BJP has promised for the youth is that over 80 to 90,000 youth of Nagaland will be skilled every year in industry-ready, future-ready skills that will provide them not just employment opportunities but provide them self-employment opportunities. Number 2, that a Digital India Startup Hub, which is today only in Kohima, will be in every district of Nagaland. Therefore, young Nagas who are technologically savvy and are today, as you know, over the last 3 years, in Dimapur, Kohima and Chuchimlang, we have started 3 digital NILITs which do digital skilling. Similarly, in the coming 5 years, in every district we will start a Digital India Startup Hub, which will be an innovation and incubator and a startup for young Nagas who want to create startups. As you know, India has today 90,000 startups, 109 unicorns, and it is certainly Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's dream that the next 5 years there are unicorns from Nagaland and there are many hundreds of startups from Nagaland. Nursing and healthcare is one of the biggest areas today where the world requires talent, and it is in the budget announced that there will be many nursing colleges opened, and it is clear that at least 1 or 2 nursing colleges will be opened in Nagaland for young Naga girls and young Naga men who intend to make healthcare their profession. There are many such things, but the bottom line that I want to share with you and through all the young voters and the voters of Nagaland is that Nagaland is on the threshold of leaving behind decades of despair, decades of strife, and moving into an era of opportunities, development, for even the remotest district and the remotest Naga in the remotest district. This determination is not an empty claim, because this is what India has seen and experienced in the last 9 years. And the last 5 years, the alliance, the double engine alliance between the NDPP and the BJP have made tremendous progress and taken Nagaland forward. But in the next 5 years, we expect to take that even to the next level and really create opportunities for all Naga youth and indeed all Nagas. And all of this will be done in a saying that in Hindi, the Honorable Prime Minister has made our political ideology, which is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, which is in English, all together, progress for all, development for all, prosperity for all, but working together to create this era of prosperity, peace and development.
Instead, Nagaland has been lagging behind, as you mentioned. So what do you feel is the reason why the state is lagging behind?
Look, I will give you one example. It requires, for states to be to reach a certain critical mass in terms of the digital economy takes time. It requires the skilling capabilities to be built. It requires youth to be motivated. It requires investments to come. And the example that I use about the future of Nagaland is the following simple example. 6 years ago, if somebody had asked me, or 7 years ago, if somebody had asked me, will Uttar Pradesh become one of the hottest destinations for technology in India? You would have said no, I would have said no, everybody would have said no. Because there were law and order issues, investments were not going there, it was not the preferred destination. But today, Uttar Pradesh is one of the hottest segments for technology investments and startups. It is exactly like that. We have laid the ground in Nagaland. Digital skilling centers have been created. Prime Minister skilling centers have been created. So going forward in the next 5 years, as I've told you, there is a clear goal that we will skill 80,000 to a lakh of young Nagas every year in advanced skills. And the moment that type of talent is available, that type of commitment with Digital India startup hubs in every district, investments will come, and therefore every young Naga, instead of having to go to Bangalore or going to Hyderabad and working in a startup, it is my dream and our Prime Minister's dream that the next wave of unicorns should come from the Northeast, and in particular, since we are in Nagaland, from Nagaland.
Also, in addition to my previous question as well, BJP has been stressing for fast-tracking development. However, resolving Naga solution has been the core issue. So do you feel that the stagnancy of non-development or less entrepreneurship in the state is due to the non-solving of the Naga issue?
No, I don't necessarily want to link the two directly, but I think it is clear that law and order, peace, has a direct correlation to investments, and investments have a direct correlation to jobs and self-employment, and that in turn has a direct correlation to the economic growth. Many states in India today that had in the past had been states that were deficit states, that were not generating economic activity of their own, have now become, due to leadership, due to political partnership between central government and the state government, have become active, fast-growing economies. Like I said, Uttar Pradesh is a classic example. So I see I have conviction and I'm convinced that another 5 years of this double-engine government working together will see Nagaland move from being an economy that was always depending on Delhi to an economy that will be a surplus, positive economic activity driven economy.